Hi there, I'm Chuck Rozanski and I own Mile High Comics. And what you're seeing from here up on the mezzanine of the Jason Street Megastore is my favorite view of the company. Unlike our huge 56th Avenue facility, which you got to see, I believe, in video number 3, this building actually allows me to see spread out some of the comics and books and toys that we offer for sale. But what I see when I look at the store is actually quite a bit different than other people, because most people, when they come in the store, they see it as a retail store. I actually see it for what it was originally designed to do, which is a processing center. We built this store because we had at that time maybe 3 million comics that needed to be sorted so that we could actually put them up for sale. A lot of these are comics that I picked up on road trips over the last 5 years, where I went out and I bought them from other dealers at conventions, or when I did private visits to stores or warehouses. And I shipped them back here because we really needed them for our online business, and we had no place to sort them. What this place was designed to do, what it was built to do, was to be a sorting center. That directly affects this particular newsletter because it's supposed to be a newsletter that's about business models, and the way that our business model here at Mile High Comics differs from that of other comics retailers. So I'm going to go in and give you a little bit of talking head now, sit down at my desk and relax, and I'll give you a little bit of a breakdown in terms of what I actually mean by all this. I want to start off a discussion of business models here by showing you a copy of a magazine called Diamond Previews. If you've been collecting comics for a while, I'm pretty sure you've run across one of these at least one time or another. This shows all the comics and toys and books and God knows what that are coming out over the course of the next 30 days. And this actually, it runs about a month ahead. So this gives a chance for folks to order their comics. And it's also the retailer tool that allows retailers to order comics and books and such. When you go into a comic shop these days, it is a representation of this book. There are very few comic shops left anymore that do much besides act as a catalog outlet for Diamond. Diamond is a wholesaler. They are the only wholesaler in the comics world, and I think they do a really good job, and they've certainly been good to us. But the majority of comic retailers out there live and die by this book. This is what they sell in a given month. When you come here to Jason Street, that is not what you'll see. Because see, we have 50,000 square feet here to work with. Most comic book retailers have 1,500, 2,000 square feet is the average size of a store, and I think there might be 100 stores that are over 5,000 square feet these days. They're really the ones that have been the most successful. But at the end of the day, most of what they sell in a given month comes from this book. And that's true of our two smaller stores here in Denver, the Colorado Boulevard store and the store that we have over in Lakewood, Colorado. They're primarily Diamond catalog outlets. And so when you're going around the country, effectively, it's almost like going into the same Home Depot in Massachusetts, Florida, San Diego. It's the same stuff. And it's presented differently because obviously the different comic shops around the country have different owners and they have different ways of what they want to emphasize and what their view of the world is. But at the end of the day, they all work for Diamond because without their weekly shipment from Diamond, they're out of business. And that's why I call them Diamond catalog outlets. It's a way to make a living, and God bless them for doing it. It's what keeps the new comics business alive in America. And so I have no problem with the fact that that exists. In fact, and this is the part that I think is cool and it makes it a lot of fun, we have the ability here now, after 3.5 years of work, to bring in people's leftovers. Because inevitably, when you're buying product through Diamond, you get your shipment in, you sell 70% of it in the first week, and then over the course of the next month, you sell another 20-25%. But there's always 5 to 10% of what you purchase from Diamond that, for some reason or another, doesn't find a home within your customer base. This happens to every comics retailer. Ask any of them, and they'll tell you this is the truth. The problem that you run into then, though, is that people have things left over and they don't know what to do with them, and no one has storage. And storage really comes down to where the real problem is. If you don't have storage, what are you going to do with all the stuff that you didn't sell in a given month? Because for 1 week's shipment, it's only maybe this much stuff, but for a month's shipment, it might be this much stuff. But then you start adding this up over a period of a year, you have a lot of stuff left over. That's why a lot of comics retailers then, if you go to sell your collection to them, they say, oh, we're not buying right now. It's as much a function of space as it is a function of money. And most comic retailers then are going to be going to conventions, and what's their biggest goal going to be? To dump their leftovers. And they don't give a damn what they get for them, because they just want to get them out of their life because they don't have any room. And they don't want to buy collections unless they see something in there like a Hulk 181 or a Spidey 129 or something that they can flip immediately and make money. We're the exact opposite of that. When I go out on the road, my goal is to buy out people's back rooms, bring all the pieces and parts back here. We bring back tractor trailer loads at a time, and then we break those pieces and parts down and we try to put them into a unified database. The reason why I needed a 60,000 square foot building is because it takes that much space in order to just do even the simplest of breakdowns. I'll take you downstairs and I'll give you a sense of what we do in a really rough way. And you can see some of the challenges that we face down there. Okay, we're downstairs here in the Jason Street Megastore now, and this is in the sorting area. And like I said, this is really what Jason Street is all about. I go out and I go to shows and I buy lots and lots of comics, and then more comics, and then I buy more comics, and then I really get excited and I buy more comics. This is what I do. This is my greatest joy in life. One of these shelves, like this, holds a little bit more than 10,000 comics. And as you can see, there's a lot of shelves. There's also, if you look down this way, more rows. We have a lot of comics here in Jason Street, and a lot of them need to be sorted out. And there are really good books in here. These are not just bulk. This is not just where I said, oh, I want to buy 50,000 comics and I'll pay a nickel each and da-da-da. No, these are ones for the most part that I hand-selected. And if you ever see me at a comic book show, that's most typically what I do, is I'm out there buying. And now we actually have a team of people here that are sorting these out. This is what Jason Street was designed to do. There. Our plan is to have it so that Jason Street has this type of shelving going the entire length of it all the way down to the far end. That'll give us room in this building for somewhere around 6 or 7 million comics. And our goal is going to be to sort those, get them onto our website, and to use them to lower our prices whenever we can. But those come from retailers who simply do not have the room in their stores to put back issues up for sale, and yet who are being offered collections all the time. Their business model is be a Diamond catalog outlet, sell primarily what's in the Diamond previews, pick up some things from some of the other manufacturers where maybe the discount is a little bit better not going through Diamond, and then buy collections, but only cherry pick out of those collections the books that can be immediately flipped on eBay or at a convention. Then I go in, I'm the cleanup guy. I buy their previews leftovers, and I buy whatever they couldn't sell very quickly to their local audience. And since there's a couple thousand comic book stores in the country and I'm the only cleanup guy, I think you can imagine that I get phone calls pretty much every day from retailers saying, hey Chuck, when are you going to be in the area? Hey Chuck, are you going to be around soon? Oh, are you coming to this convention, Chuck? We'd love to see you, Chuck. But the problem is, I got to have enough money to be able to do that. And building up the Jason Street Megastore and paying for the down payment on the building took me out of the business for basically 2 years, 2.5 years. And so now I'm getting ready to go back out on the road. We'll go around the corner here. So here we are in the sorting area of Mile High Comics. This particular area right here, they're putting titles that are the letter A in order. This will be approximately 50,000 comics that they will be putting out that are just letter A titles. And right now they've done mostly Marvels, it looks like, but they've got a lot more to do. This is not very high tech. It's just alphabetization, but it does require diligence and a lot of time. There's more than, we use these divider cards that we have printed up off our computer system, and I can tell you that just the letter A requires almost 1,000 cards. We have about 700 in our convention area, but then there's the ones that are the extremely small press titles, and those are in here. And so it takes over 1,000 title cards just to do the letter A. This sorting area, what we'll do is once we get done with the letter A, these go back up on the shelves in order, and then we'll start sorting out the letter B. If we work at this really, really hard, I think that we'll get most of the comics on these shelves done by sometime early part of 2016. So, and that's just about the time that I'll be going out and I'll be buying even more comics. So our model is quite a bit different than other people's. We're not just trying to be a diamond catalog, and nor do we try and sell just a few comics or carry some comics on consignment for other people or any of the other things. We try to be the last of the fully integrated comic book retailers. Very old school. This is what basically a lot of people were doing 25, 30 years ago. I'm the last one who's crazy enough to try and do things on this kind of a scale. I mean, what you're looking at here with the letter A, that used to be all the titles that existed in the world of comics back in 1980. In fact, I don't think there was anything approaching this many. But we've managed to adapt, and we've managed to figure out ways to keep it going. And now, thanks to this entire process, we were just able to put in the largest price decrease in the history of Mile High Comics on our website last weekend. I could do that because I know that as our guys go through here sorting these books, that it's going to allow us to restock. And that's something that's critically important to me. I really want to have a great selection on the website, and the selection is more important to me than the dollar volume of selling things. You know, I sell comics so I buy more. I don't sell comics so that I have money. Money is not the end result. I mean, there was an old underground comics, the fabulous Furry Freak Brothers, and to paraphrase Free Will and Franklin, you know, comics will get you through times of no money way better than money will get you through times of no comics. So I'm Chuck Rozanski. This is Mile High Comics. Thanks for watching another one of my newsletters.